Welcome, y'all. Welcome to No Booth Hale Podcast. Just straight talk, man. I'm your host, Griff, man. How's it going? It's February, man. Uh, Black History Month. So what I'm gonna do, man? I'm gonna talk about some Black History folks. You know what I mean? Other than Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, C.J. Walker, Booker T. I'm gonna talk about some other ones who done it before them, which I'm not taking nothing from them. It's just I feel like it's some people that we need to know about that we didn't know about. You know what I mean? Like me, I done some research on some few people, man, to come on here to do a little Black History. You know what I mean? I want to do it for Black History Month. My city of Saginaw, I got some things for Black History Month from Saginaw. And um, some more things that I want to talk about as Black history, even with me growing up on the south side of Saginaw at a neighborhood house. I want to talk about Mr. Ray Culpepper. It's Black History Month, so I want to be able to get on here and talk about Black History Month and about folks that we didn't know nothing about. And excuse me. As you can see, like lately, been going on, I've been trying to keep it up out of the schools and stuff to teach kids uh, about Black history. You know what I mean? It's learning to know about our culture and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So the first person I'm gonna talk about, I hope I'm saying her name right, Sojourner Truth, but she was born at Isabella. Her birth name was Isabella Baumfree. She was born in 1797, and she passed away November 26, 1883. She was an American abominist and activist of African American civil rights rights for women, rights, and alcohol temperance. Truth was born into slavery in Swarthmore, New York, but escaped with her infant daughter to freedom in 1826. After going to court to recover her son in 1828, she became the first black woman to win such a case against a white man. There's a lot of things that goes on, like again, Sojourner Truth. You know what I mean? A black woman, man, who people don't know. You know what I mean? Again, like she gave herself the name Sojourner Truth in 1843 after she became convinced that God had called her to leave the city and to go into a countryside, testifying to the hope that was in her. Her best known speech was delivered in 1851 at the Ohio Women's Convention in Akron, Ohio. The speech became widely known during the Civil War by the title, Ain't I a Woman? A rotation of the original speech that was published in 1863 and being spoken to stereotypical black dialect, the more common spoken in the South. Miss Truth, however, gave up speaking. No, forgive me. Miss Truth, however, grew up speaking Dutch as her first language. This African woman, man, like I said again, there was a lot of stuff like I'm reading. I got up one morning, I'm gonna say early Friday morning, I just got up and I wanted to go on here to look up people that I didn't know nothing about. So, you know what I mean? So, like Miss Truth, man, didn't know nothing about her. But at the same token, it's good to let people know what this woman did. At the same token, again, like they say, during the Civil War, Miss Truth helped recruit black men into the Union. Army. After the war, she tried unsuccessfully to secure land grants from the federal government for formerly enslaved people, summarized as the promise of 40 acres and a mule. She continued to fight on behalf of women and African Americans until her death. Her biography at the time, as her biography, Neil Ivan Painter wrote, at the time when most Americans thought of slaves as male and women as white, truth embodied a fact that still bears repeatedly. Among the blacks are women. Among the women, they are black. And she even helped men out, man. So there's a lot of things that other black folks did that we didn't know about. You know what I mean? Miss Truth, man, another black woman who did some things in the civil rights movement back then in the 1800s. So there's a lot of things that people need to know. And like I say, it's Black History Month. And like I told y'all before, every Saturday I'm gonna do something if I don't have no one come in and sit down, we talk. But it's Black History Month, so they give me time to go look up more history of black folks, you know what I mean, that did things before, of a lot of other black folks, African American people before us. You know what I mean? Before the ones that they teach us in school. It was mugs before them. You know what I mean? Like Miss Truth. They say in the memory of Miss Truth was unrevealed in 2009 in the Emancipation Hall in the U.S. Capitol Visitor Center. She is the first African American woman to have a statue in the Capitol building. In 2014, Truth was included in Smith magazine list of the 100 most significant Americans of all time. So it's things like people need to know about other folks. Like, again, like I say, she was born Isabella Bormanfree, and she gave herself the name Sojourner Truth. She gave herself that name in 1843. This woman did a lot, man, for people that don't even know. This is just one person, a little information on her. Again, like I said, Sojourner Truth is her name, but her biological name is Isabella Baumfree. I got somebody else I want to talk about too, man, that I looked up and I feel I wanted to share. You know what I mean? This person too. Give me a minute. You know, I got stuff written down. Yeah. I got stuff written down. But at the same token, like I said, I've done research on it. And I wanted to make sure what I'm telling y'all, I have actual facts about it. You know what I'm saying? So y'all can go and look it up for yourself to see that I'm not just making up anything anyway. This other fella, man, W.E.B. Du Bois, W.E.B. Du Bois, D-U-B-O-I-S, Du Bois. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. William Edward Bergenhart Du Bois. February 23rd, 1868, and passed away August 27, 1963. An American psychologist, writer, historian, and a Pan-Africanist civil rights activist. Born in Great Barrington, Massachusetts. Y'all know I'm trying to read and pronounce the names of the people. Bear with me though. Bear with me. Du Bois grew up in a relatively tolerant and interrogated community. After completing graduate work at Harvard University, where he was the first African American to earn a doctorate. Boys rose to a national prominence as a leader of the Nigerian movement, a group of black civil rights activists seeking equal rights. Du Bois and his supporters opposed to Atlanta compromising instead. Du Bois instead insisted on full civil rights and increased political representation. Forgive me. Political representation, which he believed would be brought about by the African American intellectual elite. He referred to this group as the talent tent, a concept under the umbrella of racial uplift, and believed that African Americans needed a chance for advanced education and to develop their leadership. Hey man, he was doing some things. Du Bois was one of the founders of the National Association for the Advance of Colored People in 1909. Du Bois used his position in the NAACP to respond to racial incidents after the First World War. He attended the Pan-African Congress, embraced socialism, and became a professor at Atlanta University. Once the Second World War had ended, he engaged in peace activism and was targeted by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. He spent the last years of his life in Ghana and died August 27, 1963. Man. Like again, William E. That's what they do. Burgerhart Du Bois. That's his name. You can go look him up. Like I say, man, there's other black folks that did things that we don't hear about or don't see unless we into history or go is into the history things, and we'll go, and those people know it. Like some people don't even go and look up history. They'll stop at Martin Luther King or Booker T or Harriet Tubman or George Washington Carver. You know, people will stop at them folks of black history, but they won't go down back before them, like the 1800s, 1700s. So you know what I mean? This is what I've been doing. So a lot of the stuff I looked up and I'm reading to y'all, man, because that's how it goes. That's how it goes. And then we got another lady, another person that I looked up. You know, and like music. I'm a music person. And when I looked this up, I was like, whoa. Music comes from us. Even though they talk about hip hop, was in New York, but all music came from us. You know what I mean? So this person right here, this woman, Miss Rainey. And I say Ma Rainey, that's what they call her. She was born Gratitude Pridget. I might be saying it wrong or pronouncing it wrong. But Columbus, Georgia. She died in December 22nd of 1939 in Columbus, Georgia. Again, Miss Gertrude Ma Rainey Pritchett was an American blues singer. American blues singer, a French early blues recording artist. Dubbed her the mother of the blues. She bridged early and the authentic expression of Southern blues influenced generation of blues singers. Rainey was known for her powerful vocal abilities, energetic disposition, majestic phrases, and a moaning style of singing. Her qualities are presented and most evident in early recordings. Now, Boo Weavy Blues and Moonshine Blues. I say Ma Rainey was a singer. I say back in 1886. They say she was known for the first black woman to sing blues. She began performing as a teenager and became known as Ma Rainey after her marriage to Will Paul Rainey in 1904. They toured with the Rabbit Foot Minstrels and later formed their own group, Rainey and Rainey Assassinators of the Blues. Her first record was made in 1923. In the following 5 years, she made over 100 records, including the Boo Weavy Blues 1923, Moonshine Blues 1923, To See Ride Blues 1925, the Blues Standard Ma Rainey Black Bottom 1927, and Soon This Morning. These are our songs. And Soon This Morning in 1927. Rainey also collaborated with Thomas Dorsey, Tampa Red, and Louis Armstrong, and toured and recorded with the Georgia Jazz Band, touring until 1935. She then largely retired from performing and continued as a theater impress in her hometown of Columbus, Georgia, until her death 4 years later. She has been inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame as well as the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Rainey been portrayed in several films, including the 2020 Academy Award winning film Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. In 2023, she was honored with the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. So her music and the things she did back then, a lot of people did recognize her as to where now, in the 2000th century, She got winning awards. I got ice in this thing right here. And shit, man, it's like, again, like I said, Ma Rainey, man. Now I looked her up, but I'm finna go. I want to know this. They say she had a hell of a music sound of a moaning thing, because you know how some people moan in their music, and you can then like humming. You then can know the words or get what they saying if you hum a song. If a person hum a song to you, you know the song. You then can know what they humming and you can sing it. So this woman had did her thing back then. Again, like I said, it's Black History Month. This is no Buffalo podcast, man. I'm just giving y'all stuff that I looked up that I didn't know that I'm sharing because it's Black History Month. And I got another one, another brother. This is a brother, James Arthur Baldwin Jones. James Arthur. Let me go to James Arthur. We're gonna go to James Arthur. I looked him up, but I'm gonna go back to him and read more about him. I did read a little bit on him, but I wanted to share more with y'all about this brother, regardless to what, you know what I mean, went on. Because I read he was bisexual and all that old stuff. But he's a black man and he did some things. You know what I mean? His name was James Arthur Baldwin Jones. He was born on August 2nd, 1924. And he died December 1st, 1987. He was as an American writer and civil rights activist who garnered acclaim for his essays, novels, plays, and poems. So this man wrote poems, he did plays, he wrote novels, essays. In 1953, the novel Go Tell It on a Mountain has been ranked by Time magazine as one of the top 100 English language novels. In 1955, the essay collection Notes of a Native Son. That was an essay, Notes of a Native Son, huh? It helped establish his reputation as a voice for human equality. In 1965, his 1965 debate with William Buckley is regarded as one of the most influential debates on race in the United States. Baldwin was an influential and public figure, oriented especially during the Civil Rights Movement in the United States. This brother got himself to write essays, novels, poems, but he did it in Black History and fought for racism. You know what I mean? Influenced debate like race in the United States. This man did this back in the 1900s, man. It said Baldwin fiction pose fundamental personal questions and dilemmas and complex social and psychology pressure themes of masculinity, sexuality, race, and class intertwined to integrate narratives that influence both the civil rights movements and the gay and the gay liberation movement. in the mid 20th century, America has I'm just reading a little bit here, but again, his motherfucking protagonist are often, but not exclusively African American and gay and bisexual men featuring in his work, as in 1956, the novel Giovanni's Room. His character typically faced internal and external obstacles in the search for self and social acceptance. Baldwin's work continued to influence artists and writers. His unfinished manuscript, Remember the House Was Expected, and adapted in I'm wrong. Was expected and adapted in as the 2016 documentary film I Am Not Your Negro, winning the BFTA award for Best Documentary. His 1974 novel If Bella Street Could Talk was adapted into a 2018 film of the same name, which earned widespread praise. He just wrote a lot of novels and became a black activist for racism and stuff that was going on. He was born as James Arthur Jones to Emmy Burtis Jones, August 2nd, 1920, in Harlem, at a Harlem hospital in New York. Born on Deal Island, Maryland in 1903, Emma Jones was one of many who fled racial segregation and discrimination in the South during the Great Migration. She arrived in Harlem when she was 19 years old. Baldwin was born out of wedlock there. Jones never revealed to him who his biological father was. Man, see, back then, some mothers was getting taken off to try to do better for their kids, man. Running racism was so bad, she wanted to save her son, regardless to the situation of how his brother came up and through his situation and became a person for Black American people, for the gays and all. He one man, that's what you say, he didn't discriminate about what went on. Like they said, they had questions about his sexuality, but it is what it is, man. As this world now, they they putting all this out there, the relationship type stuff, you know. So you see it more on TV. You see it on TV. So it's life as life goes on. You know, me coming up, it always been a man and a woman. You know what I mean, in a household. I'm not gonna get into all that, but y'all know how that go. That was the way I was brought up. It was never two women or two men in a household raising no kids. You know what I mean? So that's the way I was brought up. So it always been a mother and a father. So regardless, you know what I mean? Even when I was in foster homes, it always been a mother and a father. You know what I mean? But again, it's that was the history of that, of the black folks who did it before. A lot before Martin Luther King, and some probably around the same time. But at the same token, like I'm from Saginaw, I got some history about Saginaw too, as I do these podcasts on Black History Month. Like again, it's no Booth Ali podcast. It's Black History Month. We celebrate Black History Month, and I'm doing it on my podcast to show that it's other things people can talk about on the podcast. Like I said, my podcast is about life, things that are going on in people's lives, what people go through. But I'm not gonna get into all that again. Like I said, it's Black History Month, and I want to go to history of Saginaw. To history of Saginaw. Do anybody from Saginaw, Michigan, know Henry Marsh? Mm-hmm. Yeah. About Henry Marsh, man. Henry G. Marsh. Wait a minute. Yeah, it is him. Wait a minute. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, it's him. It's him. Black History, right? Henry Marsh. Henry G. Marsh was born October 11, 1921 in Knoxville, Tennessee, to Thomas and Sadie Marsh. He attended Chatham Academy in Knoxville College before being drafted into the U.S. Army in 1942. Marsh served in North Africa, Sicily, and Italy, arriving at the Enzo beachhead 3 days before. Operation Shingle. Marsh was honorable discharge in December 1945. He then returned to Knoxville College, where he served as a president of the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity and graduated in June of 1947. Marshall married Ruth Eleanor Clayton on September 1st, 1948 in Roanoke, Virginia. Following their marriage, Marsh transferred from law school to the University of Michigan to the Wayne State University Law School. Since Ruth was a student at the University of Detroit, they had 3 children, Thomas, Walter, and Teresa. Marsh graduated from law school in June of 1950 and admitted to the bar in January of 1951, opening an office in Detroit where he practice until moving to Saginaw. Marsh moved to Saginaw and opened a law office in April of 1954. He came to Sag in 1954. When he arrived, Saginaw was a segregated city where no black man had ever won elected office. Marsh became chairman of non-existent Human Rights Commission in 1958, a frequent contributor to the Saginaw News. Marsh ran for and won a seat on the Saginaw City Council in 1961. Through tradition dictated that as the highest vote getter, Marsh would receive the title of mayor. He did not believe that G. Stewart Frankie, whom Marsh respected, should serve as mayor, considering the difficulty facing the city. Marsh was elected mayor pro tempore in 1965. Mayor of Saginaw. Marsh was the city's first African American mayor. During the time when the 1967 Detroit riot threatened to spill north, Marsh was concerned about the threat of violence from both sides, racial and literally, in order that a drawbridge connect the two sides. Connect the two sides of the city, but raise to steam flow traffic from both sides. Marsh formed a committee over 200 community leaders to discuss concerns facing the city, later calling it the most important accomplishment. He was the first mayor of Saginaw. He traveled to Washington, D.C. to convince the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development and Vice President Hubert H. Humphrey that the city should consider a model city, part of President Lyndon B. Jones' Great Society. Look magazine selected Saginaw as an all-American city, and an open house ordinance was passed on March 10th as mayor. He retired as the city chief officer in 1969 to return to his law practice. Shortly after that, Marsh's retirement, the city council successfully petitioned to have him Interstate 675 bridge over the Saginaw River named in Marsh honor. Interstate 675? Named Marsh. Didn't never know that. So he got a bridge. He had a bridge named after Interstate 675. Go check it out. Bridge over the Saginaw River named in Marsh honor. His name moved from Knoxville, came to Detroit, moved to Saginaw, became the mayor of Saginaw, opened law firms and all that. Marsh died of congestive heart failure at the Elder E. Luce VA Medical Center in Saginaw on May 11th, 2011. His remains was cremated. But Marsh was a co-founder of what then called First State Bank, which was later acquired by National Bank of Detroit, which in turn, through other equations and mergers, is now part of J.P. Morgan Chase Bank. He also served as a member of numerous local organized and commissions. He retired from his law practice in 2000. This man was out there, man. He came from Knoxville, came to Saginaw, to Detroit to Saginaw. And look what this man accomplished, man. This brother accomplished a lot, man. Again, Henry Marsh, man. Henry G. Marsh, man. He accomplished a lot, man. In the little city of Saginaw, man. Yeah, and he died here at the age of 89. 89. Again, the first mayor, African American mayor of Saginaw. He was in office from 67 to 62 years. Look at that, man. Black history, man. Black history, man. I got somebody else too I'm gonna go to. I'm gonna go to somebody else. What's his name? Yeah. William Quincy Atwood. William, another guy from did some things in Saginaw, man. Moved to Saginaw. He was born January 1st, 1839, and he passed away December 21st, 1910, at age 71 in Saginaw, Michigan. A William Q. Atwood was a lumber baron in Saginaw, Michigan. Born as a slave in Alabama, he was freed in 1853, and then Will and his white master and moved to the free state of Ohio. He became active in the Underground Railroad in Ripley, Ohio during the American Civil War. Atwood moved to the Northwest, setting in East Saginaw, Michigan, 1863. There he became successful in real estate and lumber dealing. Atwood opened a he opened a sawmill in 1874. Through his real estate and mills, he became one of the richest African Americans in Michigan. He was active in the Republican Party and served as a delegate to the 1888 Republican National Convention. So he was a Republican, but he got him some money, though. He got him some money. Yeah. He was born on the Shallow Creek Plantation in Wilcox County, Alabama. I heard about his white father. This Saginaw history. Saginaw history, man. He had a white father. He had a white man that slept with the sister, man. Yeah, I was born in March. His white father and master was Henry Styles Atwood, born March 19 in 1798. His enslaved mother was born on the Maryland Eastern Shore and reared as a slave in Philadelphia and Alabama. William had a number of brothers, including Julius, John S., David, Olive, and Crusoe. Henry Atwood died in 1853 and freed his slaves in his will. As a result, William and 21 other persons went north, settling in Ripley, Ohio, where he attended a colored school from 1856 to 1859. He went to Ibro School and later attended Barrow College. In the fall of 1859, he went with his brother John to California. In California, he worked as a steamboats, opened restaurants, and did some gold mining. John returned to Ohio first, followed by William in the fall of 1861. Ripley was on the Ohio River, opposite of Massillville, Kentucky, a slave state. Atwood may have been involved in the Underground Railroad, active in the area. His business career in Saginaw. In the spring of 1862, Atwood visited Easter, Saginaw, Michigan, returning to Ripley in the fall. The homegrown American Civil War 1861-1865 made life difficult for a young African man who was not a soldier. In the summer of 1863, he returned to East Saginaw, where he began land speculating. That year he bought and then sold 1,600 acres of land, profiting $4,000 on the deal. This was the start of his success in real estate in Michigan. In the winter of 1868, Atwood began working in lumber, making a profit of $6,000. He made $117,450 in 2024, and the following year he continued to cut 1 to 5 million feet of lumber. Until 1877, he opened a sawmill along the Saginaw River. In 1874, he took the short amount of time off, but lumber in 1880 to 1882 to 1885 and 86. He marked his lumber widely, selling wood to Toledo, Cleveland, Dayton, Cincinnati, Columbus, Chicago, Boston, Baltimore, and elsewhere. He was the only black member of the Saginaw Board of Trade. Atwood may have played a role in preventing Saginaw Americans from joining the Kings of Labor, especially in 1885 when lumber workers in the area struck. In 1893, Saginaw fire. Atwood lost 2 homes. In the 1880 Saginaw fire, Atwood lost 2 homes. This is what he did, civic and political activist. Atwood was active in the number of civic political activities in 1866. Atwood was the treasurer of 8 of the East Side East Saginaw Colored Debating Society in May of 1871. He was a supporter of the new librarian of the Young Men's Christian Association of East Saginaw. In 1884, Edwards was elected at the Colored Men's State Convention to attend a national color convention at Richmond, Virginia. In September 1886, he was a city ambassador to Grand Rapids. And the man went around and did his thing. He was a Republican too. In 1884, he was nominated to be delegate at a large from Michigan to the Republican National Convention, but only one black man was to be selected, and the honor went to a Detroit City Council, Samuel C. Watson, and was the first president of Michigan Protective League, formed in 1888 with the support of the League. Atwood campaigned for presidential candidate Benjamin Harrison and served as Michigan delegate at large at the 1888 Republican National Convention in Chicago. The next year, the League put Atwood's name forward for the position of Washington, D.C. Recorder of Deeds. In 1890, Atwood was again delegated at a national convention of colored men meeting, this time in Washington, D.C., and in 1895 in Detroit, Michigan. Man, that brother did a lot too. He got rich off of wood. He got rich off of wood, man, in Saginaw. So Saginaw got history of black people, even though his father was white, he was born. Saginaw got history too. See, I didn't know nothing about that. And then this is the Goodrich brothers. The Goodrich brothers. The Goodrich brothers, man. The Goodrich brothers, man. It's some more Saginaw history, man. There's some more Saginaw history. There's more Saginaw history, man. I'm trying to look them up. I got them written down. I'm trying to see if I'm trying to get the right one. let me be patient with me. I ain't trying to go there.
Imagine being able to build any.
I ain't trying to go there.
Just.
I ain't trying to go there. I ain't trying to go there. This where I'm at right here. Man, this ain't, like I said, the Goodrich Brothers. Published in 1902, the Goodrich Art Soldiers of Saginaw, Michigan, U.S. was published by the Goodrich Brothers Studio, printed by Our Type Company of Brooklyn. The article of the Saginaw Evening News recorded that on July 27, 1902, copies of the booklet were given to customers at the Goodrich Brothers Studios. These brothers did some things. I'm trying to get to what I'm trying to get to about these brothers, man. I'm not trying to do that.
This is a moment.
No, I ain't trying to do that. I'm trying to just read up on them. They just show me the photographs, images. I don't want to do that. I'm trying to read some shit, man. Man, this is. I guess these brothers, I can't get what I'm looking for. I don't see too much, man. But the Goodrich Brothers, they're the black president in Saginaw, Michigan, 1855-1990. The scholarship writers that really enrich our understanding of Saginaw County history and the unique pioneer accomplishments of the Goodrich Brothers. The Goodrich Art Soviet of Saginaw, Michigan, U.S. Oh, that's what they did. Oh, they did the Castle Museum. That's something they did. That's something they did. The Goodrich Brothers Art Survey of Saginaw, Michigan. Forgive me, excuse me. They did the museum in Saginaw, man. I can't get much information like I want, but they keep showing me something I don't feel like I can read and tell y'all. Too much. But I'm finna go to this other brother. Dr. Charles Ellis. Dr. Charles Ellis was Saginaw's first African American physician and graduated from Detroit College of Medicine in 1889. Before the college was a part of Wayne State University. Again, is Dr. Charles W. Ellis, born September 10, 1862 in Adrian, Michigan. Charles' family moved to Saginaw City when he was a toddler. By 1868, his father, Charles W. Ellis Sr., was the head waiter at the Taylor House, which became the Fortney Hotel. Charles Sr. later became a favorite caterer and respected African American leader and activist himself. Charles Jr. attended and graduated from Saginaw City High School, Olivet College, and then graduated from Detroit College of Medicine with honors in 1889. In the mid 1880s, Charles Jr. was a medical student with Dr. Benjamin Ross, a prominent physician who was one of the first doctors at St. Mary's Hospital in 1874. Dr. Ross served as a mentor, friend, and eventually a colleague to Charles with a joint office in Genesee Avenue. In 1890 and 1891, Dr. Ross and Dr. Ellis toured Europe. When Charles continued his medical studies for 6 months in London, Paris, Berlin, after Dr. Ross' death, Dr. Ellis inherited both. Dr. Ross practiced at home at 522 South Jefferson Avenue. Dr. Ellis was the physician for the former St. Vincent Orphans Home Health Office of Saginaw, Traction Company Electoral Health Office for the east side of Saginaw from 1892 until 1896, and on the St. Mary's Hospital staff, where he lectured about 6 X-rays. Other topics his patients including noted Saginaw families: Atwood, Heaven Rich, Seth Weber, Wicks, and others. Then the park show with community issues. Dr. Ellis was appointed by Governor Pingree as a delegate of white and colored Americans in Omaha. He helped establish a large colored master, was doctor manager of the Dr. Lawyer baseball game, and was a friend and confidant of Saginaw African American Wallace Goodrich. Photograph and William Quince Atwood, successful real estate agent and political activist. In 1908, Dr. Ellis died of pneumonia at 48 years of age. The headline of Saginaw Courier-Herald on April 21, 1908 read, "Pay tribute to Dr. C. W. Ellis, resolution of appreciating past by Saginaw County Medical Association. 6 physicians served as pallbearers. Dr. Ellis has served at Saginaw for 19 years and was highly admired by the community. He was inducted to Saginaw County Hall of Fame in 2018. Dr. Charles W. Ellis. I keep yarning, man. But forgive me for that. But at the same token, I'm gonna take a pause and come back. And this is gonna be the last person I'm gonna talk about, because I know a little bit about him because I grew up under him. And again, I'm gonna take a pause. Welcome back. I had to take a bathroom break, man. But again, the last one I'm gonna talk about, man, to me, it's like a personal thing. And Muggs from Saginaw, who was on the south side, would know. Uh, Neighborhood house, Mr. Ray Pepper. I consider him, yes, Black History because over on the south side, man, the neighborhood house. You had the neighborhood house. You had First Ward. You had Trinity. You had the Silverton. You had there's a few more you had. I can't remember off the top of my head, but a few community service centers where we used to grow up and go play basketball against one. And you had Arthur Eddie. It was a school there. It was a community thing too. You can go play basketball and stuff like that. And I'm talking about Mr. Ray Culpepper because he was a father figure to a lot of us coming up who didn't have fathers in the home at that time. And he taught us a lot of ways to become successful by, uh, as kids telling us, showing us like how we can make money, pick up the paper, or save cans. He used to do that, and at times he'll give you $1, $2 or something for doing something for him or picking up the paper. It's just showing you a way you can make money. And he used to do things like take us to Barbaro Island, which is closed down, Cedar Point. We had the little Christmas thing, shopping sprees. When back then, when Kmart was open, it was some way where he give us $25 to go shopping with the $25. Kmart back then was cheap. Everything was cheap. You can go buy a lot with $25 as a kid. And they used to take us do that every year, every Christmas. We always had something to do at the neighborhood house. So I say him as Black History because it is something for me to say. Because that man raised a lot of kids, regardless to what we grew up to turn out to be doing and get involved in. But as a kid growing up, we always had something to do. He had something for us to do: basketball tournaments, arts and crafts, uh, computer classes. This man did a lot for us over on the south side. And I'm talking about him because I consider him as a true father figure, or OG as we go as, activist, because I don't know what he did coming up back then, but I'm telling you from what I know as a kid from growing up to now, even though he's gone past on, but it's so many people in Saginaw remember this man and remember the things he did. So I want to send my love and shout out to him as a Black History. Something for Black History for me, I could say a person that I know that did what he did for a whole community over there. The parents even knew him. The parents knew where the kids was at this time. And they 6:30, the kids had to go home, and that's when the teenagers and the older people could be in there playing basketball and doing whatever they doing. I was one of the kids to sneak out and come back in, and I had got a relationship going where I could take the radio home, the horseshoe. My friends used to be mad, and talk about the radio. Steve got it. Steve got it. That's what they used. I was all right with him. You know what I mean? He never showed me nothing different. Never tried nothing. He just always been a man of his word, and he do things for the people from the kindness of his heart. No matter what it was, if you needed something, you came to him. He was there for you. If it was you, your mama, your brother, anybody that he could help, he will help you. And Mr. Ray Culpepper, I thank you for all the things you've done and showed me. I still made choices that got me in situations, but at the same token, I will never forget the things you taught us. And again, I appreciate y'all for watching my podcast. And I thank y'all This is No Bufale Podcast. Next Saturday, more Black History. I might have someone come in. We sit and talk about anything. Like again, I will appreciate y'all for watching. Subscribe to my channel. Again, No Bufale Podcast. Like I always say before I leave, get off, put God first, love self, and love who loves you. No Bufale. Out. Your host, Griff.